Welcome everybody. Happy Saturday. I am so happy that you left everything behind and made yourself priority today. And it's for some people that is so hard, and you guys did it. And pat yourself on the back with all the excuses and reasons and all the things that you could be doing. You are here to focus on your health, and that says a lot about you. Then congratulations on taking that step moving forward with the 2020 year, and everybody getting excited about the resolutions. And a lot of people get excited but they don't take the actions. Then it's very important for us to make the goals, but also, okay, how I'm going to implement that as reality. Then good job being here. We're going to pack as much content as we can the next hour and a half or so, and trying to give as much practical things that you guys can take home and apply on your real life. That's very important. It's important to understand things, but it's also important to, okay, how do I actually use that? Then me and Sylvia are going to go back and forth between presenting the topic. But Sylvia is going to be talking a little bit more about the nutritional part, and I'm going to be talking about more the emotional and how does it affect the gut as well. Just kind of a little brief what we're going to be doing today. But my name is Ana Marino. Then welcome. This is my office called Be Healthy, and my philosophy is ignite your own healer. Then I am a physical therapist, I am a life coach, and I'm an intuitive healer. And the way that I explain my work is blending the healing from the physical body, emotional, and the spiritual. A lot of times people say that, but they don't actually do that on their practice. I actually do that. Then I can be having a session for physical therapist clients that came just for pain, and that suddenly shifts to a whole emotional trauma release. Or someone actually had a client last week that came for gut problems. She had diarrhea and stomach pain for years, and we did some visceral work. We did a lot of emotional release, and after 2 sessions, her diarrhea went away, and her pain is 90% better. Then I love that component of what does the body really is storing and what is the cause. Then, of course, everything else, the actions, exercise, diet, they're all really good components. But especially for that population that try all of that and didn't work, that's where my patients come and have some really good results, because I reach on areas I don't know anybody else that does. Then it's very exciting, very rewarding. I usually get the results relatively fast with the majority of my patients. Some patients need a little bit more. And some patients 1, 2, 3 sessions, they're done. Then it kind of really depends on, where you are in your life and what you need. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. I wrote a book that's called Ignite Your Inner Healer. Then if you guys are interested, there is a copy there. You can buy here, or you can also buy on Amazon. And I was a bestseller for the first, I think it was 1 or 2 weeks on Amazon, what I was very proud of. The many workshops being featured on NBC, been featuring many podcasts before. They've been doing for over 12 years and counting. And yeah, they have a little bit of baggage behind and experience. And if anybody have any extra questions as far as what I do in the end, you're welcome to come and chat with me as well. Then I would like to introduce Sylvie, that she can explain who she is and tell a little bit more about her.
Walk my way through.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I'm Sylvie, and I'm a holistic health and wellness practitioner. Nutrition is my passion for about 19 years now. And it actually started when I came to the US from Europe. I'm from the Czech Republic originally, and I started experiencing a lot of weird health issues that I never had before. So after a couple of years, I kind of, realized that must have been the food and the drinks and how I just changed the lifestyle I used to have from, being in Europe and here. So that's when I really started paying attention to labels and ingredients, and I couldn't even pronounce some of these things on packages. So that's, how the interest really began. And I started looking into gut health, of course, right? Because we know that every disease starts in our gut and every disease starts with inflammation. So these are those two main things. So that's where my focus in my practice really is. I focus on healing the gut, because if you look at anxiety, you look at depression, you look at IBS, not just gut issues, but other issues, skin, eczema, all these things are linked to our gut health. So do you want me to continue talking?
Let's just set the intention and introduce to them, and then we can move it to the gut health.
Yes, sounds good.
Perfect. But we just want to ask that you stop everything and you came here, right? Then what would you like to accomplish today? What is your intention for the day? That way, depending on your specific intention, we can kind of be flexible a little bit of the topics that you were trying to provide for you today. Of course, you don't have to spend 10 minutes telling your story. It's just kind of like, okay, we have about an hour together as far as giving the lecture before we go to the questions and answer. What would you like to learn? What is something that you wanted to leave here today that you can close that door and say, wow, that was worth it? And then if you can say your name, then we can kind of know everybody here. Who would like to start?
I'll start. I'm Donnie. I wanted to clear up some things that I've read, I guess. I've heard the warm lemon water in the morning is good, and also taking probiotics. But can you do both of them, or should you do one or the other? Does it interrupt one if you do them together type thing? And there was another thing that I had to go, and they talk about fermented foods. I don't know that I do so well with them, so got questions about that.
Okay.
And just how to get a better, healthier gut, some things that I could do.
Okay.
Cravings probably is my big
Oh, yes.
Just a side note, the craving, a lot of times craving is more emotional than physical. That is a big part of sugar craving. You can talk about your part of all the dietitian, nutrition part of craving that is real. Some foods are addictive. But the reason that you start the craving to begin with is usually emotional. That we can kind of maybe touch a little bit when we're dealing the emotional.
I'm starting to discover.
No. This is really helpful.
Yes, that's a good question, I think, for a lot of people.
Really good question for a lot of people.
Yes.
I can definitely link the craving piece when we talk about the emotional components. Perfect. Who else?
Hey, I'm Sandy, and just to piggyback off you, I'm just really busy like most everyone is. You can read and get overwhelmed, then go to this webpage, and I just don't really have the time. So I just kind of want it simplified in a way to start, to take have some action steps to go. Because I've been thinking about it for years, I've been having gut issues for years, but life gets in the way. So just kind of forcing myself, give me something to go ahead and start on and then expand upon it as needed. Yeah.
Thank you, Sandy. If you don't mind, would you say what gut issue do you have? That I can kind of customize the examples for you.
Just constantly don't feel right, bloated for years. Ridiculous. No, I don't have low energy problems. You just don't feel right all the time. So, and you try to change your diet, but then you go back to
old habits.
Craving stuff. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Perfect. I think a lot of people can relate to that. I get that a lot of my patients, like something just doesn't feel right. And I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, and a doctor doesn't want to hear that. If you go, they're like, yeah, whatever.
Right, and that's what I get a lot of complaining of patients, like, oh, it's in your head, because doctors don't know how to deal with that.
Correct.
And therefore, they got to find some something to say.
Yeah,
Let's
you're right.
leave it at.
Here's the medicine for that. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Mask the symptoms.
Put a band-aid
Yes.
on it.
Yes.
Wonderful.
You know, the link also between the skin and what you eat. The,
Yep.
like, you know, skin issues.
Oh, that's such
Yeah,
a
that's
good
a biggie.
point.
Yes.
Yes, awesome. Who else?
My name is Myra, and I'm here just for general knowledge on healthy gut. And also, I don't know if you'll cover this, is food combinations. How often should you eat? You know, and what should you eat at what time? If that makes a difference in how you feel during the day.
Okay.
Perfect.
Hi, I'm Sybil, and I've definitely been aware of gut issues for decades. And so I think I'm here, A, for a reminder, and B, to kind of get my direction a little better focused. I like to use lemon and water because I've had kidney stones. That seems to have solved a lot of that. I also enjoy the apple cider vinegar in the morning. I'm wondering if that's too much, if that might be too harsh on my system. Some mornings it seems like everything's fine, and other days it's like, wow, I better be in the bathroom all day. So I'm like, I don't really want to have that experience. And then I have a daughter who has psoriasis, and whether there's things that I can help her with that she might listen to.
I'm Chris, so I've been in tune with gut health through my son. He has autism, so we've changed some things with him, but not drastically. So I don't necessarily, I get some bloating sometimes, and I know when if I eat ice cream, I know what's going to happen. So I usually just take that because I like ice cream. So I really want to start to learn how I can change myself, because I know that I'm probably going to need to change what he's eating.
Yes.
And the rest of my family. So I feel like if I don't do something, you know, they're not going to follow. And honestly, it stresses me out because I hate food. I hate making dinner, and I hate all of that. It stresses me out. I'm not very good at it. So I think that's what has prevented me from taking the next step, because I'm thinking, if I can't even make regular food, how in the world am I going to make something that he will eat? I mean,
How old is he?
He's 9. I mean, I can get down anything really, but I'm worried about how do I make something that he'll eat, because he'll just not eat. He won't eat. He's not the type of kid that'll. So I think I'm trying to learn more for myself first.
How old is he?
9.
Okay. Yes. Definitely can cover that.
I'm Lisa. I've started menopause, and I'm wondering if there's anything that I could learn that would help improve that rocky path.
Great question. I'm Sue. I have the past year been doing the intermittent fasting and trying to eat the whole non-processed foods and so forth, and have been doing well with that. I'm interested in all of it, the nutrition and the emotional and the physical. I had back surgery last year, and I'm trying to do things to help strengthen my spine, support my spine.
Yep.
So
I like the support.
Yes.
And just a side note on that, there are a lot of times back pain can be caused by gut problems.
Oh, I found that out.
Wow.
So very common, like scar tissue, inflammation. That can be a whole other class as well. But I see a lot of relationship with gut problems and lower back pain.
I went to a chiropractor for years, and then when I found out I had a gluten intolerance and cut out the gluten, my back pain, it was amazing.
one of the major issues I have is constipation for years.
Oh,
for years and years.
That's
and years.
absolutely one of the causes. Yeah, then you give some tips on that for sure.
Okay.
I'm Michelle, and for the last couple of years, I've made a lot of changes in this kind of area, and I have had a lot of success with losing weight and feeling better, and arthritis is, not that bad. And I'm just looking to maintain that and take things to the next level, make sure that my mindset stays strong to keep going forward.
You're ready for the new year. Everybody?
Awesome. Then take it away. Let's get the information in.
Alrighty, let me look at my notes because I can be talking about gut health forever. And I know we are on a time schedule and I know how precious time is, so we want to get you out of your own time. So the question is, what is really gut, right? It's, and why is it so important for our overall well-being, right? So many people don't realize that, but I feel like it's coming out finally, and you hear and read things about it, right? 10 years ago, 15 years ago, nobody really talked about it, right? And I do believe that, we do have to heal our gut first before we start healing the rest, Like doctors will treat certain symptoms and they chop up the person in pieces, right? He's treating kidneys, he's treating this, he's treating that. But I believe that everything, when you look at the skin, all these issues, we really have to heal the gut first. So it is one of the most complex instruments in our body. And not the gut itself, but it includes the living bacteria, those probiotics, those, fermented foods, you were talking about it. Super important. Our immune system, most of our immunity lies in our gut. So when I have people asking in the fall and winter, how do you prevent being sick? Comes back to how strong our gut is and how we can prevent and fight off those viruses and bacteria, right? Nervous system, brain-gut connection. We're going to talk about it more, a little later, but again, with autism, with anxiety, depression, there's a huge link to our gut. So it is extremely important for your son to start healing his gut first. And you will see improvement, in his quality of life. So what is preventing us from having good and healthy, gut? It's the fast-paced lifestyle we have, especially in this country. I can see it, All people do is work, rush, jump from car to the other car to the meeting in front of their computer. So it is all connected. The moving of our body with the exercise, lifestyle, that's honestly super important to move on a regular basis, Stress, right? Huge. Stress is that's the main cause of disease. Stress triggers so many things, like autoimmune disease is triggered by stress in most cases. Eating out. How many people eat out? Do you guys eat out a lot?
No, not a lot.
But you do, they don't use the best ingredients. They use processed, oils, all these things that our body should not be eating because it's cheaper. So I will, encourage you to cook more at home, And it's fine to go out to eat. I think there are plenty of, good restaurants and choices these days. Food, I always like to call it food felt like substances, all processed foods, all prepackaged meal, all frozen pizzas, all these things, again, are going against how healthy our gut will be. Because all these additives and fillers and binders, artificial sweeteners, colors, the gut doesn't know how to process it. So, what else? So when you're talking about gut, ask yourself the question, how is your energy, right? How is your sleep? Do you sleep good? Do you get your 8 hours of sleep? Do you wake up refreshed? Because our health starts with the sleep. The quality of sleep is super important. And I know as women, as we're going to go through menopause, that's going to be one of, number one thing that's going to suffer, right? It's the sleep. How is your skin? Do you like the way your skin looks? Do you have pain? Do you have a chronic pain? Do you have a, knee pain, back pain, whatever that is? Acid reflux, IBS, all these things all linked to our gut. So, like I said, all disease starts in our gut and all disease starts with inflammation. So, cancer, autoimmune, heart disease, anxiety, IBS, all linked to inflamed gut. And have you heard of leaky gut? Anybody heard of leaky gut? You probably did. The doctors don't recognize it. It's not, recognized by the medical society yet, but all these holistic doctors, they talk about it. So do you know what it is? So leaky gut, when you have those closed junctions in your gut walls, they're supposed to be super tight, right? As we process foods, or as our body ingests foods and drinks and toxins, environmental toxins, those tight junctions start opening up and loosening up. And then you have these holes in your gut lining, and those proteins and things from food and things you drink and eat start leaking into your bloodstream. And that's where the food sensitivities comes in. So many people are food sensitive these days. It never ever used to be like that, right? So, like when I came from the Europe, I never heard of so many food allergies and sensitivities. I was like, what is peanut allergy? I never heard of it my whole entire life, So we have to heal this leaky gut first, So people can, like if you are gluten sensitive, you can start, implementing gluten back into your diet once the connections are healed back and sealed tight how it's supposed to be. Also, you will not be digesting. So you can be eating the best diet possible, getting all the vitamins, all the minerals, getting the best food out there, but you will not be digesting, you will not be absorbing those nutrients because those holes, it's just leaks in your body, So leaky gut is a big issue these days.
How long does it take to heal?
So, when we start healing, like when I start working with clients, we have to remove the problematic things, the toxins, the yeast, the GMOs, all those things we remove. Then we replace it with clean diet, and then we can restore the ideal balance. So it's kind of depending on where you are, but I've seen results within a few weeks, I would say anywhere between 2 and 6 weeks, if you're really serious about it and really something that, you want to do. I hate to give you time frame, but it's few weeks.
Whether it was going to be a year?
No.
Okay.
And the process is through nutrition?
Yes.
Supplements?
Yes.
Or?
It's combination of things. So we would remove, dairy, of course, number one problematic, I don't know how much dairy you guys consume, but that's one of the things that do cause inflammation. I'm not even talking about lactose, of course, but just dairy in general. We remove gluten, we remove all processed foods and sugars. That's the base. That's where you start.
So like say you have this food sensitivity to cashews.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that if you remove the things that are making the leaky gut, like you wouldn't necessarily show sensitive to cashews anymore because the gut was healed.
Mm-hmm.
But there are certain things that are always problematic for the gut, right? To promote leaky gut, like gluten, right?
Sure.
So are you saying that you can re-implement gluten?
You can. Mm-hmm.
And it will not cause you problems after you've healed it?
Yes. So the funny thing about gluten, so in the US, then we come to the GMO issue, right, in the US. So most people that are gluten sensitive in the US, when they travel overseas, they can totally eat the fresh bread, all those things. Yes, it's true. Because people sometimes think they're gluten sensitive, but you're really glyphosate sensitive. You know what glyphosate is? That's, it's loaded in our food supply, because it's sprayed on all of our crops. So if you do eat regular bread and it's not organic, you will have a high exposure to glyphosate. So that's like one of the things that really damages our gut. That's one of the things that's linked to autism, is glyphosate. So,
side note there. Legally, we cannot use the word cure.
Nope.
We're just making that very, very clear. We're not doctors. We can cure anybody.
Yep.
We have seen things happen. I have seen what they call miracles happen quite shortly. I'm sure you saw plenty of those.
Oh, yeah.
Medical society, but this doesn't even have a cure. and you see things happening, but we can claim that anything that we are saying here, it will cure anything. They just kind of...
We give you tools and the body can heal itself. Yes, yes. So where were we? Okay. I think gut-brain connection, how are we on time? I'm good. So, 70% of serotonin, the happy hormone, is made in our gut. Again. So people with depression, again, doctors will prescribe some, drugs to treat depression, but they will not say, okay, let's heal your gut first. So your body starts producing more serotonin. The same thing with, melatonin, right? That hormone that helps us sleep. So if you don't sleep well, especially for women, as we're getting older, our body produces less and less of that. That's the precursor of serotonin. Anxiety, depression, yes, that's what I just said. Look at heal your gut first. So anybody who struggles with that, come back to the gut. I believe in supplementation. I never used to, but until I went back to, nutrition school and I learned how many nutrients our body lacks, especially for women, like vitamin D. I don't know how many people take vitamin D. It's like the number one prescribed by doctors, actually, but nobody checks for that on a regular basis, So we will go back to the supplements and things we recommend at the end. All right, that's what we said. Yeah. What else? Okay, I want to talk about anti-inflammatory diet. That's big when it comes to inflammation, right? I was talking to a guy yesterday who was just diagnosed with autoimmune disorder, right? Number one thing that the doctor should have told him, okay, look up anti-inflammatory diet. He was looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, the doctor never told me that I can do anything with food or I should change my diet. He never even asked me what I eat. And I said, well, the doctors, they go to medical school and they have 1 semester of nutrition education. So they're not there to talk about nutrition. They're there to talk, prescribe drugs. That's, that's what they are. So, you have to go to highly alkalized diet because our bodies are acidic. The more stress, the more processed foods you're going to eat, the more sugar, white bread, all these processed things, your body will be very acidic, So you want to go to highly alkalized diet, lots of fruits and vegetables, avocado, tart cherries. We're going to talk about that a little later. Salmon, yes.
So my husband struggles with gout, so obviously that right there is anti-inflammatory diet. Because there's a lot of things that he tries to put in, but it's been a really bad year for him on that one. So I just probably need to research that and try to get that into the diet for both of us.
Yes, definitely.
Because the doctor, like you said, they just keep prescribing this stuff, and it's like, some days he can't even walk.
So can you give some example what would be inflammatory and what would be one versus the other?
So for samples, okay, so anybody here uses canola oil when you cook?
What?
Canola oil. Yeah, so like these are very highly processed oils, very inflammatory. So instead of using canola or any, I don't know what else is out there, I don't even know, cottonseed oil, any kind of vegetable oil, sunflower, stay away from those because they're very heavily processed.
And use what instead?
My favorite is avocado.
Costco in big bottles.
Yes.
Coconut oil?
Yes. Coconut oil, avocado.
What about grapeseed?
Grapeseed, I'm not a big fan of.
Okay.
Just,
Yeah, I wondered. That's not
the taste or processing.
Well, it is more processed. I really love to stick to coconut oil, pure organic, pure coconut oil, unfiltered, yes. Avocado,
Ghee is a really
ghee, yes. If you do, yes.
Ghee it's how do you-
Clarified butter. It's a clarified butter that's good for cooking. Yeah.
Now, olive oil, which everybody talks about.
Yeah, it's fine.
I've heard that most olive oil isn't true olive oil.
Exactly.
So I kind of, you got to really use it
Yes.
quickly.
The
That
thing
it's almost
about-
not worth it.
That's kind of what I want to add. The thing about olive oil is a great oil to use. It has a lot of health benefits on it. However, it does not tolerate heat.
Yes. No cooking with that.
Yeah, they say that it does.
Yeah.
No cooking with
Just for
olive
salads, you know.
What does it do when you cook with it? Because that's what
It becomes a canola oil.
because that's what I do with it.
Well,
You
time
should-
to change.
Yes.
What does avocado? I hate the taste of coconut oil. Like to me, it just it makes everything taste like coconut, and I don't like the
Ghee
taste
is
of coconut.
delicious.
What does I've had ghee too. What is it like avocado? Like it doesn't.
It doesn't have any flavor. Mhm.
That's what I want.
No.
Now, does it have to be organic? Because the one at Costco is not organic.
Then let's link to the conversation. Should we start there?
Yes. Well, you know,
It should be organic.
it should be like
Everything.
you know, look at Environmental Working Group, the website, and you will have your list of Dirty Dozen and Clean 15.
Avocados are clean.
Well, it is clean. Like it is clean. Yes. Because like if you consume avocado, it has the peel, right? You take off, you don't eat the thing. But like strawberry, spinach, things that soak in all those pesticides, you consume it. So if you buy it for your kids and around this time of season, you know, everything is from wherever, Mexico or whatever. Yes. Not doing yourself or your family any favor. So organic, like those two especially, you know, leaves, spinach, strawberries, there's a, you know, long list.
Kind of a rule of thumb with the organic. It's not
the
100%.
Thank you.
It's looking at if they have a skin to peel and how
Yes.
thin the skin
Bananas.
is.
Yes, like bananas. Bananas organic, they will taste better. So just so you know, they taste better. They're a tiny bit more expensive. They're not that much expensive, you know. So when people tell me, well, eating organic is expensive, I always say, well, if you stop buying the junk, you will really save a lot of money, you know.
And you also stop eating as much.
Exactly. Yes.
And that's a really good point that you
Yes.
made, because the things that are organic and they are healthier for you, it gives you the nutrition that your body feels full. And that goes back to the craving.
Yes.
Most of the time when we're craving something is a way of your body say, please, please, please give me some vitamin, nutrition, and protein. And then you give it to your body.
and it says,
empty.
no, I want more.
It's never enough. Then when I hear people say, I'm always hungry, go back to feeling what are you actually feeding your body, because you're probably not. So your body is always looking for more because that nutrition is not there. Then you finish eating and it's like, okay, but I needed more vitamin A. And you're like, oh, but I'm still hungry. But you didn't give your body what your body actually needed. Do you want to bring a little bit more of the glyphosate and the organic and why is that so
Yes.
important?
Before I forget, so if you have cravings throughout the day, few little tips: increase your fat intake, nuts, avocado, good fats, more fiber. Increase those throughout the day. So when you eat your apple, have some nuts with that. You know, not just the apple on itself, because the apple will digest within like 20 minutes, and then you'll be hungry again. Not that apples are bad at all, but just try to have a good fat with it. You know.
But I've always heard too that you should eat fruit by itself and not.
Yeah, like by itself, but like if you eat it with healthy fats and at the same time, it's fine. What they mean, it's like do not eat a big dinner at the restaurant. And sometimes even the best restaurants, you see, I don't know, fruit cup, strawberry, whatever as a dessert. And you think, yeah, that's better than get a piece of cheesecake. Yes, it might be. But what happens is if you eat this heavy meal and for many different meats and things, it takes up to 8 hours to digest. And the fruit normally digests within 20 minutes. What's going to happen is going to sit on the top of the whole food, the meal you just consumed, and it's going to start kind of rotting there, creating gases, because it's going to be sitting there for those hours instead of being digested very fast.
Individuals.
I mean, think about it. You know, it's like you have these potatoes and the meat, and then the apple is like there, you know.
So it's okay if you're not eating. It's okay to eat fruit mixed with things if you're not eating a lot.
Yes,
Okay.
it's like, you know, don't like overthink it. But apples, fruits are best to eat between meals. Let's just put it simply that way.
How about with almond butter?
It's perfect.
Okay.
Yes.
Almond butter is a good fat.
Yes, exactly.
Fat category. Peanut
Yes.
butter, almond butter, sunflower butter.
Peanuts might be a little bit on.
It's a lower scale.
Yes, yes, and no. So they can cause inflammation in some people, you know, but any kind of good fat with fruit between meals, as a rule of thumb, morning or afternoon, between your lunch and dinner, that's perfect. That's like the best way to eat it.
We are giving some general tips.
Well, you're not going to be heard.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. Yeah. I used that before. That's why I'm trying to keep close to it. One thing about we giving you general ideas, right? Then, like everything in life, nothing works for everybody. Then, if you go to others' philosophies or teachings, you may hear like fruits is a very typical one. Like Ayurveda, for example, say that you should never eat raw food. Period. Yeah, it's supposed to be cooked. And that's kind of what I'm coming later talking about that. But I just, since we are in that topic of like this is right, this is wrong, there is a right or wrong general, and that is you. And that's why it's so important for us to check in. We do as much research as we can. We provide as much information as we can find. But we gotta go back and check in. If you feel that you ate something that doesn't feel good, it's not right for you.
Mm-hmm.
Then just kind
of, not everybody will be suitable for everybody. You know, it's
that's
just
a side note of the details as far as what we are eating. All right, glyphosate.
So glyphosate, big issue, right? Some of you might have seen the trials with Monsanto last year. The first one, the groundkeeper that used Roundup a lot around the school got brain cancer. So that's what they don't tell us. Like glyphosate is banned in many countries, but it's still very heavily sprayed on our foods, not just the grass to make it look pretty with no weeds, you know. It's sprayed in a park, so you see a lot of rates in dogs having cancer, tumors increasing because they have no protection. It goes straight in their body. So it's a big issue. I find, you know, people suffer, you know. I'm not saying that causes specific illness or disease, but it's definitely a contributor because it's very highly toxic and it does cause cancer. You know, there are many, many studies. I've been to many different topics on many different, you know, like talks, specifically talking about glyphosate in animals when they do studies, cows, anything you look at. So what glyphosate does when we ingest it, when we drink regular water, I hope nobody's drinking tap water unless you have a whole house or whatever filtration system. Super important. Questionable even, you know, like Dasani bottles and those things. I would always go to spring water. If I have to buy waters in a bottle, go to spring because that's where it's, you know, sourced, not filtered by Coca-Cola. I don't trust these companies. So when we ingest glyphosate, we are completely destroying our microbiome. Not just the good bacteria, but it really does add to the leaky gut syndrome I was talking about. It will prevent you from, you know, absorbing nutrients. So we have to make put our best efforts in to eliminate glyphosate or the exposure to it. So I always say to people, stop using Roundup at your house. I'm sure most people have it in their garage, so they go around and spray it with weeds. There are other things you can do, you know, just hot water. When you pour hot water on the weeds, they disappear, they die.
Vinegar as well.
Vinegar, yes. So that's where I think we have to start as people. I know we are little people in this big, you know, whole society. Buy as much organic as you can, because if you don't, especially fruits, fresh fruits, you know, things that you do, well, you cannot even cook it out, honestly. It doesn't matter. Even if you cook a regular vegetable, you know, it's not organic, it stays in it. So really, that's like, you can wash it off, you can cook it out, you cannot just, it's there and it will be in your system. So buy as much organic as you can. what else? Yes, we will talk about it later. You know, what we take, it's a specific formula that's pre and probiotic that can remove glyphosate. It's a toxic remover, and we will talk about it when we talk about our, supplements we use that can remove 74% of glyphosate out of our gut and actually starts rebuilding the gut. And it also lowers the C-reactive protein, which is the biomarker to the inflammation in the body. So if you C-reactive protein is always high, you will have higher chance of getting heart disease, which is
immune system.
yes.
Our immune system disease.
Immune system. Yeah.
What about, I don't think you've mentioned the farm-raised versus wild-caught fish.
So farm-raised, what it really means is that farms are having fish in some ponds. Like I would never ever buy farm-raised salmon because it's being fed hormones and the color, so they look nice and orange. So if I do eat fish, it would be always wild caught, period. No question asked. And even if I'm eating out, and I'm at the place and I ask what kind of fish that is, most places have no idea. They're regular, I have no idea. And some lady said, well, it's a farm raised, so I guess it's good, right? And I was like, okay, I don't want that fish. So
talking about visual, when you think about farm, think about a tank with a bunch of fish on it. They are trying to overgrow.
Yeah.
Right? And
They're feeding them all kinds of stuff to make them big.
Yes.
And I heard that there's farms, people have said that there's farm-raised stuff where they really regulate the whole thing and that it's clean and
Humanely raised. What is?
who is regulating?
That's the thing. So
That's the thing.
Yes.
It's the same thing with
there's no regulation.
chicken has the same exactly problem. They say it's regulated. Now they're getting a whole new name as far as I know. They have outdoor space. And the regulation means they only have space for like an hour or two a day for like 1 square feet, and they gotta go back again and get trapped on these. It's like we do the best we can, right? We can't be astronaut and just see fields. But knowing that is the reality, that when you choose making a conscious choice and say, you know what, I'm choosing that today and that's okay, but it's not what you want to do every single day.
Was there a huge benefit or difference between organic chicken and pasture-raised chicken? Like, am I doing any good by getting organic? Is it just not taking me to the level of pasture-raised? Because basically they're still eating crap. It's just crap. Right?
Yes. So normal chicken should be outside eating grass and eating little worms and eating that. What drives me most, crazy, is when I see vegetarian raised chickens. I was like,
expect them to eat.
chicken is not vegetarian. Well, but chickens are not vegetarians. They eat these little bugs and little things, So
They'll eat eggs then.
yes.
So,
That's usually means. That usually means they give you GMO corn.
Corn. They will feed them GMO corn, which is the cheapest. The same with cows.
So then where do you go? Because I'll be honest, I have time to go to one store a week. This is already stressing me out because I feel like I'm doing bad things for my kids. I'm buying organic meat as much as I can. But I'm like, I have a full-time job, a child that has, I don't have time to go to farms and to do this. And this has always been a stress for me. And I'm killing my children. My husband can deal with it himself, but am I killing my children?
No.
That's kind of,
you came to educate yourself. So how about go online ordering?
Yeah,
all these stores, you just shop online. Anything you want, they bring it to your home.
And Christina is also understanding. Let's clarify.
But see, that kills my budget because I'm a cash-based person.
No.
I'm not going into debt. That is a big deal. So
Let's kind of take a deep breath, everybody. Then close your eyes for a second. This is a lot of information. For some of you, this is very stressful because this is a life change experience. And then you can choose to close the door today and say, I don't want anything to do with that, and go back to do what you're doing before. Or you can choose to make 5% change. 10% change, 20%, 50%. It doesn't have to change your 100% today. But if you're eating better, 5%, you are improving your health 5%. What's much better than 0. The things that we're talking about here is the ideal situation. Then we have a conscious choice. If you have an egg that's chicken from vegetarian and one that's organic, you know which one to choose. Where most of the time we don't even know what to choose. Then give yourself a little space to be okay. That's going to be a constant learning and constant change, and doesn't have to be black and white. Today I have to change, otherwise I'm going to die. It's just what is 1, 2, 3 steps that you can do that's going to improve your health a little bit today. Next month, what is 1, 2 step you can do it that you can improve a little bit.
To what you're saying, because I was like, I can't do all that, and you're eating a bunch of crap that I hate. I don't even like that crap, and it's like, and you don't eat anything, and I just sense what you're saying, but it's been a year, and I'm not at all where she is or where she wants to be, because she's still not where she wants to be. We're all in work in process making, so
steps,
I agree with Anna
baby
so
steps.
much, and so it take a little. I'm eating things I never thought I would eat before, and it was like one thing at a time, and then changing the patterns of when I eat and all that stuff. So your son is going to benefit from every change you make, and it doesn't have to be the whole ball of wax.
Has anyone changed their kids? Because like I said, I'm really afraid he just won't eat.
But let me say something about that. Our taste buds change.
They absolutely.
Then when you first eat something that's healthy, it's gonna taste horrible. I'm telling you, it's like, I had some shakes before that I started taking because the ingredients are amazing, and I was like, oh my gosh, do I really have to drink this? And then I do for like a week, 2, and then suddenly it's like delicious. And then you go to a restaurant and you get a dessert, and it's too sweet.
Yeah,
It's too processed.
It
It changes your taste bud, but you can't expect to be, he's going to enjoy in the beginning. Then you put maybe 3 things on his plate. One is a bit healthier, and then you start doing gradually, because you're not going to eat it either.
Yeah, I do intermittent fasting. Half the time I'm not eating anything with them. So,
but it's kind of introducing slowly. His taste buds get used to it. Your taste buds get used to it. And remember that we're all doing the best we can.
But don't you think that there's things too that you can make it taste better? Like, for instance, the shake. I made the shake and I was like, I added banana and blueberries. Yum.
Of course. Yep.
You know?
Absolutely. And healthy food doesn't have to taste bad. You got the muffin today, that was delicious.
herbs and spices.
There are so many things you can.
And these muffins were super easy. My son actually made it almost the whole by himself, and he's 12.
Well, that's another thing too. If you have him,
Just banana and oats and blueberries.
invested in it, you know.
Yeah, there are things, that will be a whole nother, like bringing the kids into it.
And we can have totally different session on our kids' nutrition as well. And,
there will be a different way to how interact, how to communicate. There's a whole other emotional component with the kids, and how to communicate that with the kids that you are on the same page. But that, unfortunately, is the other topic. But absolutely no reason for stress. It is overwhelming because it's a lot, but it's like letting the information pass to you, and then pick the ones that feels right and do now.
Yes.
Next month, you maybe listen to the record again, get another 1 or 2 things, and make a change slowly.
I was just going to mention there is a local farming enterprise that will deliver to your home, Creekside Farms, and they have meat and chickens, they have pork, they have lots of stuff. So it's not only local, it's very consciously based.
Wonderful.
Creekside? Did you say?
Creekside Farms, Creekside. I'm sure I can
All right, what are we doing? So simple solutions. with everything. Yes, it's overwhelming what I just said, because that's my, this has been my passion and my drive to help people prevent and heal disease, so that's my life. This is my full-time thing I do,
For how long?
Gosh, long time. I mean, so that's why I'm here, to educate you. So wherever you are in your life, you can take some bits and pieces, and I do support anybody that needs help and guidance. I do grocery store shopping tours. I go with people to the store and I show them how to shop. So you can be in and out quickly. I teach people about reading labels, what is really important, the do's and don'ts, I do kitchen cleanups. I come to your home, I clean up your pantry and offer better solutions, so depending whatever your needs are. And also, I'm starting a 5-day Whole Foods body reset in a couple weeks as a group, so you're all welcome to join me. That's where we go through all the basics, It includes recipes, it includes my community, and it's all kids-friendly recipes, And maybe if you involve your son in the kitchen a little bit more and have him make choices a little bit,
Yeah.
Just little steps, So yes, so on the 20th.
Teach people how to cook too, because that's
Yes.
stress. I mean, what happens when you don't know?
So
I just get by. I mean, basically.
No, so like the recipes I have in my 5-day program, so I create that just recently because I felt like people do get overwhelmed and they don't do well with longer programs. So I do one-on-one coaching, of course, with families, but this is a group effort, So we have recipes for 5 days, Monday through Friday, breakfast, lunch, dinner. It's everything so super simple, and it will teach you how to cook, how to prepare quinoa, how to properly do this, and I'm there to support everybody. So these are basics. So this is like a cleanse. I don't like to call it a cleanse, but it's a whole foods reset, jumpstart into resetting your eating habits, So it's super simple for beginners. So I will distribute these later if you would want to join me in that.
One little add option, if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, there are companies like Sunbasket, for example, that they actually deliver the meals kind of
like the kids.
measure.
Yeah.
They are very simple to make it. It is healthier than a lot of other options. I think they're organic.
You can choose organic, yes.
There are a bunch of different companies that are doing that those days. I tried before, and it is 30 minutes. You're kind of out of the kitchen because things are already kind of pre-measured. It kind of helps when you have a busy schedule and you don't want to deal with all of that. But that is options.
Yes.
Yeah, and it can be expensive to start, but maybe it's just something you do for a month that you get kind of like.
And you don't have to get every single meal. It can be 2 meals a week.
Yeah.
It can be 1 meal a week, right? Baby steps. They're starting to, if you have a habit to eat out for 7 days, eat out for 6 days, eat out for 5 days. They're starting a baby step and allowing yourself to give permission to get there.
Yeah, I mean, like meal planning, I think it's huge. It's so helpful for most people, for most families. When they sit down, let's say they pick a Sunday afternoon, and meal plan, have the meals pre-planned for the whole week, so you don't have to find yourself on Tuesday evening in your kitchen like, what's for dinner? Oh, I have no idea. Oh, let's order Chinese, right? That's what so many families do these days. So I think meal planning, that's something I teach too, simple things. Cook a big batch of quinoa or rice, and you have 3 different separate meals. It is super simple. It doesn't have to be overwhelming whatsoever. And I always use just simple ingredients. If the list is too long, I will not do the recipe.
If it's more than 5.
Yeah. So,
Max.
and then, we talk about our supplements. We have some really good shakes that we use for breakfast. We use, both of us use it. It's just organic superfoods, raw nutrition that we just shake up in the morning. And when we drink our shake, it's like 6 large superfood salads. So it's very, very powerful. It really gives you the energy, the good start for the day. I mean, I miss it if I don't have my shake because I don't feel the same.
Yeah.
So we can make quickly a few samples if any of you want to try it.
It's interesting with the shakes because some of my patients, they have a very busy schedule and they don't even have time to go out to eat. Sometimes they skip lunch or they have the lunch as they working on the desk. And the shake is a really good option for those kind of population as well because it will be much healthier than any fast food that you can get.
Yes.
And it will be much cheaper. And it's going to give you kind of like more energy throughout the day instead of the low blood sugar.
Those drops.
After a bad meal, usually like on the afternoon.
I've been using it as my 3 o'clock feeding time when I'm like wanting my junk food.
Yeah, and it's a good substitute for those cravings. There are many different options. We can kind of guide you guys later and give you a little more information at the end. But it makes a huge difference when you have healthier versus not. And I'm totally with you. If I'm traveling, I usually bring with me my luggage.
Oh, me too.
If I skip like a day or two, I can just feel my energy changing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, just really, I mean, I hope I didn't overwhelm you too much, because this can be, I mean, we have, we don't have all, I can be talking for 3 hours, but.
So back to the meat. So you would say that anything in the grocery store, even if it says organic, it's probably not.
It's fine.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Fine. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it comes to, I think the chicken is very confusing because I find that even overwhelming for me, and I know about it because you got the organic and then you got the pasture raised and it's like 3 or 4 different kinds. And it's
the chicken has a marketing problem.
Okay.
The industry, and I don't know if you know that, what is the labels mean.
Yeah.
But go online, or if you know, you can tell that. But each label means something. I think organic is kind of like on the top of the list.
Organic is the only one that you can really trust. Just put it that way.
I thought that's just generic.
No. It has to have the stamp.
The green and white.
Yes.
So we can trust them.
Yes.
That's not-
I mean,
grass-fed, like beef.
yes. So I always say chickens are like one of the worst meats you can eat, period.
Really?
Yes. So you are better off with a good piece of beef or grass-fed.
Now, see, that goes against like everything.
Yes.
People are saying, don't eat,
No.
What about turkey?
It's the same. It's chicken. It's the same. It has so many hormones. Even if they say we don't use hormones, there's no proof of that. Do you trust? And all these little companies that used to be farmers are being bought for all these giants.
So turkey is just as bad as
exactly.
the chicken.
Yes.
So what about pork? Pork's not good either.
So pork is another story with completely slipped my mind. Well, yeah, pork is not very clean meat and parasites. That's the issue I have. So if you don't do cleanses on a regular basis and you eat pork, you eat sushi, raw vegetables, you will have parasites on some level, which cause a lot of different gut issues. So, all of my clients do parasite cleanse at least once a year.
What's an example of a parasite cleanse? I just bought something online and I can't remember the name.
I don't know. The one we use,
something.
Yeah, we have a protocol for that. So it's you have to order it online, and it's raw food, and So what? This is a different topic, but I mean, with parasites, you have to make sure you kill. I know it's a disgusting topic, and I do a lot of lives on Facebook, and people are like, what? What is this? Do we have all this? It's a disgusting topic. But yes, so you have to make sure you kill the live parasites, and then you have to wait till the eggs hatch, and then you have to do another round. So not all parasites cleanses out there are the same. Absolutely not. You will not see the results. And I had a lady who had GI issues, she had run to the bathroom 3 times every single morning, consistently. Didn't matter what she ate. And she did my parasite cleanse, the one we use, and she's like, oh my gosh. They said I have, they were diagnosing her with all these, things. And she's like, I'm not in the bathroom anymore in the morning, so we have to know what we buy, what we trust. There's a lot of junk out there, and I do a lot of research before I recommend anything to anyone. because
So what about any other meat? You're a vegetarian.
I'm a vegetarian myself,
Okay,
yes.
so you're not gonna, your view is like all meat's bad.
No,
Anna, are you
No.
vegetarian? No.
no, I feel like if people eat meat, they should eat organic meat.
Okay.
Because you're not doing yourself any favor. You will not
But
be
you're
getting nutrients.
suggesting, and stay away from the poultry. So then that leaves like the
If it's organic chicken, it's fine, but I'm talking about regular chicken.
Regular chicken, yeah.
Yes. I mean, they...
And let's go back to that is the ideal,
Yep.
and that is a reality for you where you are in your life right now. Then some of my clients already eliminated some of the meat, and they do really well with that. Me personally, if I go a week without meat, I get anemic, like really bad. There is nobody that can convince me that I can go vegetarian. Then you need to listen to the information, take it in, check in with your body. If the chicken feels good to you, better than meat, eat the chicken. If you eat the meat and it feels better than the chicken, you get more the meat. If you feel better without enough meat at all, like Sylvia does, she can feel the difference in her body when she doesn't have any meat. That's why she keeps doing that. But you guys have to go back to how do I feel with that information. And that's what we're going to link back to the next topic. That's how do you know that? But you kind of.
I think, I mean, if you guys have any questions afterwards, specifically, just go ahead and ask me. So,
And just kind of to add about the parasite, I think it's important for us to remember there are products and products. Unfortunately, the supplement industry is not regulated. They have the right to put on the bottle whatever they wish with no research proof.
And you can't say cure.
You never know. Hot? Good? Fine.
she has the board, she's fine.
Remember that when you read labels, what they say is whatever. What are the ingredients that's there? Most of the supplements company is making things worse. Then I work with the same company that Sylvia works. That's a company that I recommended to my patients, and I can see the difference, not just myself. I send that to my mom in Brazil because that's what I trust. But there are so many companies out there that just for making money. Then do your own research and make sure that whatever company you decide to choose, not just because Amazon says that 500 people like it, it doesn't mean that's good for you. I'm sure that more than 500 people say the sugar is good for you. And for many years, people say the fat was the worst thing in the world. And now we're back to, well, healthy fat is different than consensus is not necessarily true. Then starting to be aware of that in your own life and start questioning those based on your own experience with the foundation of people like us, not just Google. That's a big challenge I have patients. People Google things and come, Google say, who's the reference? Who's the person that wrote this? What experience does the person has? Because there's a lot of mothers, there's a lot of people that don't have experience at all, calling themselves health providers. That the healthcare became a very complicated arena because everybody is a healthcare provider nowadays. Everybody is eager to tell you what to eat, what to do, what to work for them. And how do we know if that's true for us? That's what I